Hi, I'm Dr. Courtney Piercey. I am on faculty at Ferris State University here in Michigan, where I musically direct the fall musical. I teach elementary school music and have a private voice studio as well here in mid-Michigan. I have been on faculty with the choir department at Blue Lake for the past, I think, 6 years. I think this was going to be my 7th year coming up.
Hi, I'm Dr. Susan Ruggiero, and I'm Assistant Professor of Voice at William Carey University here in Mississippi. And I have taught at Blue Lake Fine Arts Camp for 12 years on the voice faculty and sung in the opera productions.
So today, Dr. Ruggiero and I are going to talk a little bit about how to have a successful audition experience. What a successful audition experience means is not that you always get the audition, but that you walk out of that audition feeling good. You walk out of the audition feeling prepared. So a couple of tips that I have A, B, and C. So A, do your homework. So what does a homework for an audition look like? If you watched our earlier conversation, it's practicing. It's getting your music learned, right? Know about the company or program that you are going to be auditioning for. Know about the show or the opera that you're going to be auditioning for. Know what's open, what roles are going to be open, what parts, what positions in the company, what positions in the program, how many people are going to be accepted. Know what the upcoming season looks like. What opportunities are you going to have? And know the company's audition requirements. And this is really important. Know if they want you to do something in a foreign language. Know if they want you to do more than one song. Know if they want you to have contrasting styles, contrasting languages, contrasting tempi, that kind of stuff too. And what homework would you do, Susie?
Yeah, I think your comment about knowing what's required is so important. And sometimes even bringing extra stuff to an audition can be helpful, because I've been in some auditions where I brought my sort of package of arias, and then they said, well, could you actually sing this other thing? And so sometimes having a few extra things can be helpful as well. Other things that you want to bring to your audition are sometimes companies require headshot or a resume. And so keeping track of this information, these are productions, shows, plays that you have been, any sort of performing experience, awards, having these on a one-page resume. Okay, so no more than one page. Having a nice professional photograph, headshot, and you doesn't have to necessarily have to be a professional photographer, but the product needs to look professional.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like my dad did my first headshots and they were just fine. He did a great job. Since then, I have hired people to do that, but that is just, it makes you look professional. You have the appropriate materials and they look professional. And along the lines with the resume, you want to make sure you have someone proofread that resume and make sure there are no spelling errors, grammar errors. Everything looks nice and lined up, because that reflects on you when your materials look professional.
Oh, absolutely. The first thing that they will look at, they will start to look through, okay, here are the credits, here are the credits, here are the credits. Oh, well, that one's spelled wrong. There's 3 extra spaces over here. That sort of is indented 10 spaces. They aren't paying quite attention to detail, right?
Exactly, yeah. Also, in terms of presenting yourself, and this is all assuming that you've sort of done the homework that you need to do in terms of preparation and practice and all that sort of thing. And part of that is, once you're prepared with your song, part of preparing for an audition or performance is practicing that audition in front of other people. I would say never go into an important audition without having practiced in front of somebody. And this is not just your musical number or your acting number. It's all the things that go into that performance, from how you're moving on stage, how you're expressing, how you're introducing yourself. You'd be surprised how just your greeting, hello, my name is so-and-so, and I'm singing this piece, can affect the impression of the people listening to you.
And when you get nervous, that kind of information sort of flies out of our head a little bit to when you are prepared and your transitions are rehearsed, then you're more apt to have that muscle memory take over. Because I think that's super important that we perform the way we rehearse. We perform the way we rehearse. That's a mantra that I say to myself over and over and over again. So if you rehearse those transitions, if you rehearse your introduction, if you rehearse your walking into the room, walking out of the room, what kind of gestures are you going to use throughout the piece? Do they have meaning, to the piece? That sort of stuff too.
Absolutely. And even in terms of your preparation and your planning, things as simple as logistics, like maybe you're traveling to your audition. You like Courtney said, like you're going to be a little nervous. And so leave a little extra time to maybe get lost on the way to your audition. You don't want to be panicking about arriving on time. So leave time to get there early, to warm up, to familiarize yourself with the space so you can calm those nerves, that sort of preparation. Anything you can take care of ahead of time, because I guarantee there will be things that will sort of catch you off guard and that you won't be prepared for. Someone walks into the room, the judges start talking, anything. But if you can sort of take care of the things that you have control over, it will make you feel more in control and more relaxed and calm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So make sure also in your preparation that you have appropriate wardrobe. That doesn't mean that you have to have a tuxedo or a ball gown, but it does mean that you dress nicely, you dress appropriately for the company. Some companies programs will ask for a more professional dress. Some are more kind of business casual, but you should always dress for for success. You should always dress nicely for an audition, because that is also a way to tell the auditioners that you care about their company, you care about their program, you care about how you represent yourself with their program. So finally, it's executing the plan. So A is do your homework, B is prepare, and C, execute the plan. So your audition starts the moment you walk through the doors of the building. And I will tell you, I don't know if you've ever had anything like this happen. I was auditioning for a company and I was really nervous, and I walked in and I started to talk about how nervous I was, because when I get nervous, I just get kind of like blah, 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 blah. Well, the person taking the registration at the desk may be part of the decision-making process too. So you need to watch that your interaction with them is professional, is courteous, and as little personal information as you can give.
Yeah, and speaking of being courteous, just one thing to keep in mind that, if you're auditioning with a pianist that maybe you haven't met yet, being very professional and polite with that person is very, very important, just in general, not just because it's an audition, but because this person is helping you in your audition. And so the appropriate thing to do to give them their tempo is just to go on the side of them and maybe sing the first few bars or conduct the first few bars of your tempo. Often as a singer, it's helpful for you to sing your tempo because they'll be able to pick that up. Sometimes when we try and conduct, we're not always actually in our tempo. And so we're actually singing a few bars is more reliable. And then once you start, you just go. Absolutely. Never or even conduct at your pianist, because that's this rude. It just is. And you'll be viewed negatively. Even if you feel like, oh my gosh, this tempo is not my tempo. I just want it to move or slow down. Do that with your voice. Do that with your tempo, and they will most likely be able to adjust. And if they can't, you just got to go with it and just do your thing as best you can. Even if they stop playing at some point, you keep singing.
And that comes from having your music memorized. and being willing to go with whatever needs to happen, right? So if you are memorized, if your transitions are memorized, if the auditioner says, "Oh, I don't need to hear the beginning of that. Can I start in here? Can I start in the middle of the piece?" You can be like, "Yes." And your pianist can be like, "Yes." And that's good. So having that memorized will allow yourself to have that flexibility too. That all comes in that preparation. And so one of the final things that I have, be in the moment. Always be in the moment. Whatever is happening outside isn't happening in the audition room. Be in the moment, be on the stage, be in the character that you're portraying, be in the character of the song that you are singing for your auditioner. You being in the moment helps the auditioner, your audience, be in the moment always. Have fun. Auditioning can be nerve-wracking under the best of circumstances, but it can also be a lot of fun too, because you can try new things and you can also really become so much more expressive the more you audition.
Yeah, I would say those are probably the most important points of this whole little discussion, because if you are in the moment and you're having fun, they will be having fun and be able to imagine you as that person in the production that you are auditioning for.
Yeah. So the very last thing, and it goes with the audition starting as soon as you walk into the room. The audition doesn't end until you get to your car. The audition does not end until you get to your car. So if it goes really well, that's wonderful. Take note of it and go to your car and then go woo-hoo-hoo-hoo in the car. Like, yes, I rocked that audition. Or if it didn't go so well, don't indicate that until you get to your car. Say, man, I really wish I had had that part a little better memorized, or I wish that that tempo had been better, or my language was a little off here. Oh, man. Don't let that come out in the building, because
Yeah.
they may not have heard that. I've had situations where I thought I mangled something and they didn't hear me mangle something. I had covered it really well and I ended up getting what I needed to get anyway, even with the mangling of it. So if they don't know, they don't know.
Yeah, and even if you do, bomb an audition or just not have a great day, it's okay. We all do, and you can learn from it. And also keep in mind, in the professional world, and even like in middle school and high school, it can be really, really competitive to get the lead role or any role. So keep in mind, it takes lots of practice, preparation, building your skill. But then once that skill is built to a certain level, it takes a lot of auditions just to get one job or one performance.
There was a singer, Sharon Sweet. She had 500 auditions before she got her first leading Verdi role. 500 auditions. And it was through perseverance and knowing that each audition was helping her grow that got her to the point where she became an international phenomenon.
Yeah. So keep that in mind. If this is for you, don't give up, keep training, keep practicing, and keep at it.
Absolutely. Well, it's been so great to talk to you, Susie. It's been so good to see you, even from Mississippi and Michigan at the same time. We're going to miss you so much, campers, this summer, but I'm so glad that we had this opportunity to talk with you. So thanks for watching this virtual arts video brought to you by Blue Lake Fine Arts Camp. See you soon.
See you guys.